joined now by people who were on ground on election day. Alongside Afia TV, we have Political and Economic Correspondent, Afia TV, Nnamdi Obanya, and Honorable Chukwunonye Okereke, Public Affairs Analyst and Political Strategist here in the studio. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning.
Welcome, guys. Good morning.
My pleasure.
Our pleasure to have you too, because there's been so much confusion, and I know you were on ground. Everything was just empty, dead, basically no action. Voters were there, materials were there, nothing happening. INEC ad hoc staff leave. Next thing we see, total chaos at the office. I mean, could you help us understand what exactly is going on with Enugu-South Urban constituency?
Thank you very much for having me. Enugu-South Urban constituency is a constituency made up of 7 wards. We have the Owani West, Owani East, Achale Out West, Achale Out East, Okonono West, Okonono East, and Maryland. Now, these particular 7 wards, all these 7 wards, they have 185 polling units. The polling units that are in contention is that from Owani West. Owani West straddles between Owani Secondary School, where you have 3 polling units, and the Robinson Street Primary School, where you have 5 polling units, making a total of 8 polling units. These 8 polling units will houses 4,000 plus, around 4,800 something voting strength. So the issue in contention in this whole brouhaha is 4,816 votes of 8 polling units. This election took place like every other election in 2023. A winner was declared. March 2023, Brighton of the Labour Party was declared a winner. The PDP candidate and the PDP as a party decided to contest that victory. The contest led to the courts ordering a rerun. The first rerun came on February 3rd. Second rerun was February 14th. What we saw last weekend was the third rerun. Now the question will be, what is the interest or exactly the challenge in sorting out 8 polling units in Enugu-South Urban State Urban constituency?
All right, of course, we're still discussing the Enugu-South Urban constituency by-election, rerun election, the third rerun after the first initial election. Some people say 4, some say 3, but the truth is that it's been tried 3 times and has still failed. The most recent INEC has confirmed did not hold. And of course, our producer will put up pictures of that confirmation as this conversation progresses. We're still discussing this controversy. You were talking, giving us some insights. Go ahead.
This is the background. 8 polling units. Brighton presumably has won 177 polling units. The totality of what is in contest is 185 polling units. First rerun has been done, that was in February 3. Second one, February 14. This was the third one. So what exactly is the interest of political stakeholders and INEC in organizing a small election that is warehousing 4,000 plus voters? And these voters came out to really vote to get done with this. For 2 years running, Enugu-South Urban constituency does not have any representation in the State House of Assembly. And we know how these things run in Nigeria. If you are not there, you are forgotten. What we are running is a representative democracy. So out of the 24-member house, 1 is missing. And nobody is talking for them. And it is at the heart of the city where certain amenities are supposed to be provided for. Brighton, who happened to be the candidate of the Labour Party, has been having a running battle.
But the question now on the lips of everyone is that Brighton is in prison.
Yes, it doesn't have anything to do with that. That is why the crafters of this constitution were very smart enough not to put the names of candidates on the ballot papers. The owners of the votes that are going to be cast are the political parties. You are a representative of the party. That is why you are not seeing anybody's picture there. You are seeing the logos of the party.
So if Brighton is declared winner,
yes,
who then runs?
If declare him winner first, you deal with that. It is an INEC responsibility. When you deal with it, the second leg of the thing of the matter should be dealt with at the level of the court.
I believe I'm not wrong to feel very confused now.
No, you are right.
I'm confused.
Okay, let me help you.
The key candidate is Bright Ngene.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the reports reaching us is that he has been convicted and sentenced for 7 years. He is currently serving his sentence at the correctional facility.
Let me correct you. Let me help you.
Let me help you. Yes.
That is the court of first instance. He has appealed it. You don't say 7 years because appeal. He has not reached the Supreme Court. The magistrate court has declared that.
So what were the grounds for his arrest?
The grounds of the arrest was located in a communal challenge they are having in their community. Which, you see, in this game, you see the hand of Jacob, right? And the voice of his son, if I'm not but you understand where I'm going.
Yeah, go
now,
ahead.
some persons are behind the scene. They had to resurrect a communal issue they are having in their community, where they said that he was involved in land scandals, issues of misappropriation of funds to the tune of 15 million naira. With that, and the powers of the whoever that is backing them, pushed it to the front burner, where magistrate court is domiciled within the purview of the state judiciary. High court still is within their purview. And that is why the appeal court is an interesting thing. We are at that level. Jurists will dispassionately look at that matter and be able to remove the phrase from the trails. Lay it bare. And you see what is happening. Does that matter require somebody to be jailed for 7 years?
Okay, beyond now, we can't get into what the court said and what the court. So let's focus on what is on ground. Now, Bright Ngene won the first election, right?
Exactly, yes.
When did this charge surface?
Thank you. This charge surfaced when the issue of PDP going for requesting for a RERUN came up. So it is an issue of trying to see a way of trying to mangle something that was threat. He has already been declared winner as of 2 years ago. It was after that these communal issues started cropping up.
So
led to this.
Before he contested the election, the charge was in nobody's business. Nobody knew about it.
For you to run an election, basic clearance must be done.
Right.
The party has to clear you, and the INEC has to clear you to see that you are prim and fit to run for an election.
But INEC continues to clear him to run the election, even regardless of the charge.
No, you are mixing this thing up.
Explain it.
Let me help you. Bright Ngene bought a form to run for House of Assembly as a candidate of Labour Party. Other persons bought the same form, and he emerged as their candidate, which qualified him to go into the election proper, the general election. And for you to go into the general election proper, there are certain requirements you have to fulfill again in INEC. Security clearance being key cardinal factor there, which he succeeded in doing, and he was fit for that particular election. And the election came, and he was declared winner. There was no issue. All those why.
And then what happened after that?
After that, when he was declared winner, a whole lot of back-end arrangements started coming in. How do we make it impossible for this guy to be able to achieve his purpose? They found out that it's like he's having a running issue in the land committee or whatever community issues they are having in their community at Ahuke. Now they felt that, okay, it's already factionalized. Some persons for him, some persons against him. Now, powers that be had to throw weight with those that were against him. And it was carried up to this level of where he was put across the magistrate court. And the magistrates, whether he's right or wrong, declared that he is wrong. And by that judgment, 7-year prison sentence was leveled against him. And that was how he found himself in prison. And I know his team of lawyers have appealed that case. It's pending. When they will have their time in court, they will go and argue it at the level of the appeal they have.
But right now, as it stands, where is Bright Ngene?
He is in prison as we're talking
right now.
Yes.
People are also asking questions about the presence of the minister
Thank you.
At the venue.
Yes, we are talking about political parties by election.
He's the APC leader in the state.
He's what?
He's the APC leader in the state.
Yes, he's the APC leader in the state. Yes.
So is he throwing his weight behind the Labour Party?
My dear, I'm equally a polling agent like the minister that day.
Right.
I'm a polling agent too. I'm in APC. We came. It's a by-election. You see, I found out that democratic education is having hitches in Nigeria. We don't understand a whole lot of things. And that education must be properly begin to unfold by the media and political parties. When you talk about by-election, every party that contested in first election have the right to be present there. And that was why the tag I had on had an INEC logo and APC polling agent, because it came from them. We must be accredited at their own level there to know who are the agents of A, B, C, D party.
What was the role of Uchennaji?
Uchennaji came as a polling agent of his party.
But the party is not a major contender.
If you are talking about major and minor, the most important thing is the party a contender? I'm trying to tell you some things now.
So Uchennaji is not back in the Labour Party.
Let me help you. A by-election requires every party, whether major or minor. You have to come. And he came to see how the by-election will pan out. Both his party and other parties. He came out there. And coming out there is his statutory, constitutional responsibility as a party.
Who is the APC candidate?
The APC candidate?
Yes.
One Chief If was so. He was there too. One guy wearing red cap. We recall him. Some of you interviewed him. He came there. He was present in the same arena.
He was present, but was he a major contender? You
are mixing. You are going to do education this morning. Remove major contender in political arrangements. Major or minor is a non-issue. Are you a contender? Yes. That is what it requires. Because if you talk about major, excuse me, let me help you. If you talk about major or minor, why would the biggest major contender in that election is Bright Ngene? So he had almost 90% of that vote.
That is non-negotiable. That is a fact that you've just stated. So the question I have now is, I'm still trying to assess, because we have limited time, the role of Uchennaji.
I have explained. So he's a polling agent of his party.
You're saying that he came for his candidates.
He came
not for the Labour Party.
I will still correct you. I said he is a polling agent of all progressive Congress.
That is correct.
That is an interested party in that particular election.
Okay. Interested.
And I equally came as a polling agent.
Interested in what party?
The APC.
Nnamdi.
You saw me there too.
So,
let me just put some clarity. So, I think one thing we have to understand is that this process of this by-election is not a new election. It's a continuation of the original general election.
Exactly.
So, everybody who was a valid participant of the general election, just like if you were a pressman and you were accredited during general election, your accreditation is still relevant at the by-election. It's a by-election for that cycle. It has not finished. It's not a different off-cycle election. So everybody on that day, all party agents, all pressmen, everybody is accredited till the completion of collation. So everybody, any party who was on the ballot in the original election can even be at the collation center, because this is the end of an election. You are a participant. The by-election is just like, oh, we need to clear something at the end, but it's still part of that same. So everybody is, entitled to be there. So I guess that's why we had other parties except the PDP and the Labour at the venue.
But let's talk on the quagmire, the ruckus that ensued between Sam and the Minister of
Science, Innovation and Technology. Yes,
so let's talk on that, on the ruckus that ensued.
So this ruckus, I want us to be very clear about it. It did not happen at the ground. There was actually no issue. What happened was basically a case of to your tent to Israel. Every party was at a different corner of the ground. We had the APC at this corner. We had the Labour people here. We had the PDP people there.
But the environment was tense.
Well, yes, there was definitely. I wouldn't say tense, but I would say there was a foreshadowing. Like everybody was basically waiting, like, what's going to happen, you know? We saw the coppers sleeping off, they had been there since morning. At a point, this was a bit hilarious, the community people started bringing chairs, and they're going to sit here till night.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, they packed up
But the key question is, why didn't the election take off? Why didn't it start?
You see,
ad hocs, voters, what happened?
very, very, very nice question. I think INEC should begin to be responsible to the dictates of their charge as an umpire. The most important institution of democracy is Independent National Electoral Commission. They got it wrong last Saturday, and you've seen where we are today. And they've been getting it wrong. The REC, unfortunately, does not have that independence and gravitas to see that election through. They were not there as of 8 o'clock, which was the statutory time for elections to have started. People stayed through. CP came, checked the whole polling units, and left. For CP to have come and assessed that the place is good to go, you know what it means? He spent less than 10 minutes there and left, meaning that there was normalcy and calm.
So what happened?
So what happened is that we have to ask INEC this question. Why is it that the electoral commissioner does not want to run the election? He has to answer this because we will not see INEC bottle democracy. They have attempted getting this thing wrong severally. It's just like in football, where there is chaos in the field. You always hear about FIFA arbitration panel. What do they do there? They will look at the way the games were played. Statistics will come into play. Who and who were having upper hand. Either they award the victory to a particular side, or they decide to share the points across board.
You're very outspoken. Who could be fingered in all this? That could be the reason, the person championing, the underdog championing this.
The underdog championing.
The reason why INEC, they came for
It's very simple now. The PDP-led government in Enugu State is finding it difficult. You see, the PDP is a shadow of itself. It's a headless chicken. They don't have a leadership. The party is scattered as it stands
the
today.
national or
The national, the state, the local government, it doesn't exist again. It only exists in name. That name, PDP, that's just what we have. You see, party democracy and organizational management is what they are lacking. I saw it clear there. I was laughing in my mind. A party that calls itself a government in power does not have their state apparatchik in an election of this nature in the field. They were not there.
you observed that.
What are you talking about? They were not there. And they thought that it's going to be Uhuru the way it normally used to be. You see, unfortunately for them, they never knew.
So what was their plan?
They never, let me come.
I think you should finish making his point.
They never knew that a personality like the Honorable Minister, in quote, will belittle himself to become a political party agent. You see, in Nigeria, we have a problem with status. Toga. Instead of respecting you for who you are, I want to know who is your father. Where did you study? Where are you coming from? I was with somebody sometime. We were talking some things. The way he was talking to all of us, I was laughing. Until somebody close to him told him that this guy did a degree in Belgium. I saw the way his eye changed. I said, look at you. So this is now a title. So the Honorable Minister brought down himself to be a party man. For you to get to any particular position in Nigerian political democracy, you must be a party man. That's why that old chairman that you think is useless and irrelevant has the capacity to sack you from the party.
Question is why? Why bring himself down?
I'm coming now. You are in a hurry.
Yes,
I'm giving you the background.
We're checking.
You are checking your time, but this thing you are doing is one of the most...
You're not answering my question. I said why? No, answer my question. Answer my question. Why? Why was he there? Why? What's the motivation? You said it. You said bring himself down. Why did he bring himself down?
The party chairman, the Honorable Minister is a party man. He said that anybody that's a party man can be a polling agent. He has demystified this thing about bringing ordinary person in the party to a polling agent. Now he is a polling agent. You will see in the next election, the quality of polling agents we are going to have in Enugu will redefine this democracy. If he can be a polling agent, that means A former ambassador can be a polling agent. A serving ambassador can be a polling agent. Now, it will bring security and stability. It will remove violence at their level. Their presence has guaranteed, in fact, his presence provided a cloud of security around. Because there are things you will not do, ordinarily you would have wanted to do. Even when we got to a call, I was there. There were 10 DRS vehicles there. I said, you people are here.
So the question is, the honorable minister was there.
Yes.
The voters were there.
Exactly.
Parties were there.
Exactly.
Dancing took place. There were refreshments.
No, let me help you.
No.
Dancing started taking place when, dancing started taking place by 1 o'clock. I was monitoring.
Okay, great,
yes.
great.
Yes.
The dancing started at 1 o'clock, but it was dancing.
Yes.
Why was everybody present and the election did not hold?
Yes.
Why is this election an uphill battle? Everybody was there, including the
INEC does not want to do the election. Ask President Electoral Commissioner Mr. Chukwunonye, why doesn't he want to do the election? INEC does not want to do the election. Everyone was there.
So it's INEC.
The dancing you talked about, you see, those voters are very enlightened and informed.
Right.
They started dancing by 1 o'clock. Accreditation should have ended by 12.
That's right.
So the law cannot catch them. They beat INEC in their game.
Yeah.
Because if you cannot accredit, there is no way voting will take place.
Nnamdi,
Yeah.
you just called the PDP out,
Yes.
apparently. So what's your appreciation? Are you also looking through this dark tunnel that there might be hidden, truth around what he said?
Look, let's first of all be honest and let's not pretend that what we saw on Saturday is brand new to our democracy. The strange scenarios we see at our election venues all over Nigeria. Even this weekend, there are rumors that 2.5 billion was found with INEC officials in Ogun State. There are all sorts of things that happen in other by-elections. A chairman in the Northeast was said to have had voting materials inside his car. INEC later said that ballot box did not belong to them. And INEC ballot box, but that's another. So the court will decide all these things. So, in terms of PDP structure, whether they are together or not, I think we're all seeing the politics in Nigeria playing out and how it's playing out. There are some who are saying, oh, the APC is trying to create a one-party state, and there are those who are saying the PDP is finished, the coalition is the new game changer. There are those who are saying, oh no, there's still the PDP. And we still saw that places like Oyo still hold their ground at these by-elections. But I don't think the PDP's strength had anything to do with what's happened this weekend. I think what happened this weekend, let us lay the blame where the blame is.
Where's the blame?
INEC. When a referee is corrupt, when an umpire is compromised, there is nothing anybody would do.
Who corrupted the umpire
So that's the thing.
in the state that made them not?
So it's not that somebody. Corruption is like a beautiful woman. It's just waiting for suitors. When a decision is corrupt, it's just waiting any suitor. So there is not one person that has the right to corrupt INEC. As a beautiful woman in the free market, it's the best suitor that wins. So let's just say that INEC is positioned to be approached by anybody who wants to compromise. And they can say, this is not fair, this is not, but we have seen too many examples. I mean, you've been asking the questions this morning. Why did the election not hold? We were on ground. The place was extra safe. The voters were there for morning.
Yes.
The coppers were there for morning. The polling booths were set up from morning. The pictures for accreditation, everything was there for morning. But not a single person was accredited. Was there a security breach? No. There was even an army vehicle at the junction. Everywhere there was a proper security presence around the one boy. So that it did not hold suggests compromise. And if you line up with the numerous transgressions of INEC coming all the way since Maurice Iwu, you will know that the root of everything rests with INEC.
Now, we saw a scene of chaos at the Ekoto office, INEC. We saw everybody exchanging blows. And I heard the minister was there along with PDP candidate was there as well, Sam Ngene. So much was going on at the INEC. Could you explain the scene?
It's very simple.
That we saw?
We left at 1. We went for Chairman Chukwu's burial. It was on our way to that place that some of our boys alerted us that these people are going to a court to go and write the result. My sister, initially my colleague doubted it. I laughed at him. A pro-chancellor of a federal university, all these technocrats, I laughed at him. I say, it's good that you are part of this. This is Nigeria. Driver turned this vehicle. And the vehicle was turned. We got there. Do you know we saw 10 DRS vehicle of Nigerian police force? There. In an INEC office of a local government tucked into the middle of nowhere. The minister had to come down. We want to know what is happening inside that place. Lo and behold, they couldn't believe it. I spotted at least 3 or 4 local government chairmen of PDP there. We had to go into the office. Had it been, I knew that the man that came out was the electoral officer, I would have caught him. Sincerely speaking, because it was too close by. I didn't know. The next thing I saw is somebody speedily running into a white Corolla. The 2 policemen telling me, move. They moved and took the other side.
They moved with the police.
3 policemen.
Yeah.
They moved, took the left side and ran away. And that was when mayhem. A lot of shouting matches.
Right.
Do you think this was initial plan to stall
the initial plan was to write the result, but they were
polling booths, right?
Now, INEC already declared the election did not hold. We saw the pictures that came up. If the election was declared as not to have held, what results would have actually been meaningful?
Excuse please, this is Nigeria. And that is why no election, a politician will always tell you, it is not over until it is announced by the same INEC.
But INEC confirmed that the
they confirmed that what we are there doing at a court with all these coteria of people. Why did they blow 3 canisters of tear gas there?
That's right.
I was there. When people were running, people like us could not run. Because maybe we were immune to tear gassing, or we were just there to see the end of this thing because of interviews of this nature.
We're out of time now, Nnamdi. What is going to solve the problem for Enugu-South Urban? A whole constituency is lacking representation. Enugu-South Rural has representation at Enugu-South House of Assembly. Enugu-South Urban does not. And this continues to be a song that we continue to sing. Election, election fail. Election, election fail. I wish I could add rhythm to it, but we're out of time. What is going to solve this problem?
Very, very simply. Don't worry about any problem being solved. The fact that there's no consequence for any transgression or anything that happens in Nigeria has given impunity to people who are supposed to be electoral umpires to continue what they do. And then the bad faith actors in all the parties are very aware that the umpire is corrupt.
Okay.
So that's what you have with bidding war.
Our guest has said that Brighton Gena is in prison, but INEC should go ahead and do its duties, and after everything is done, then they will sort out what's next. Yeah. What are the grounds for such a circumstance holding sway for someone that is in prison continuing? I mean, if you can help us understand that.
You made a point at the beginning. Let me just explain it properly. Remember what I said? The by-election is not a fresh election.
Right.
It is from the general elections.
Exactly.
So his status as at the general election remains to the end. Now, if they had announced the result and he had won, and this case came up, so he'd be fighting the case, or if he had to be removed. And here's the irony: if he wins the election and he can't be sworn in, there are different precedents within the different states in Nigeria. In some cases, it's handed over to who came second in the election.
Exactly.
In some cases, and this is where it gets tricky, it's handed over to who came second in the primary within his own party.
And then it still belongs to the party. It still belongs to the party.
So it depends on how it's argued.
All right, we're out of time, unfortunately. We have to wrap up, but we'll continue this conversation. I'm sure tomorrow we'll continue to have more dialogue on this. Thank you so much for making our time. The morning show returns in just seconds as we discuss the upcoming TEDx event in Enugu. Before we wrap up, do stay tuned.